Hello, hello, hello. So, I was just kind of thinking what I want to do next here because I don't want to get too focused on one little piece of this project that I get totally uh, deer in the headlights when I get to the next part, like making a little intro animation or uh, adding little robotic target enemies or um, making a tutorial or this or that. So I do like the philosophy of paint on the whole canvas. So what I might do, I want to get the Makarov shooting. So that's not a bad idea. But we could uh, switch gears for a second, and we could make like a little introduction animation, which could literally just be a stick figure with the little zeppelin that they're going to use to fly between each course, and a couple little models of like the sky islands just kind of like floating up and down, and then a camera spinning around that little diorama scene, and then we could just record a super simple little 10-second voiceover, uh, run a little music in the background, throw that in a Godot scene, and then just say, okay, that's the intro. And then if you want to play it from this main menu, you could click, replay intro or something. Um, and then for the tutorial, I was thinking it can literally just be a series of white box rooms with text and pictures on the wall that show, 1, 2, 3, this is how you click and drag and use the guns, and there could be just a little voiceover as you go through each room, and there could be a button to like replay the instructions or whatever. And we could do a super rough draft of that, just like knock something together in a day or two, and then at least we've de-risked that a little bit. We've dipped our toes in, and then when we get to the point where we're saying like, okay, we're finishing this up, we changed the way the cylinder clicks shut. Let's tweak that in the tutorial, or let's add a little bit of detail to these white box rooms in the tutorial. Let's make them, look like cool stone rooms, or cool, I don't know, take the top off and make it look like we're in a neat little like castle-looking place or whatever. But it will be much less intimidating if we've like already done the basic concept. Anyway, what I want to do first is let's add some sound effects to this magazine. This is really simple. So where we left off last time is we had figured out a bug where, oops, gotta fix my sound output so you can hear it. By the way, all this music is from open source music places. I've got right here just the credits for all the open source components I'm using, and I feel like I probably should show this every time just to be like, hey, I didn't make this music, whatever. I think this one, Freezing But Warm by Maiden, is the one that I'm using right now. Let me double check that. That's the one I'm using. Um, excuse me. So, credit where is due. I think the license on this is Creative Commons with attribution. Let me just double check that in the license bit here. Attribution. Yep. Free to adapt and share with attribution under the following conditions. Attribution. Give appropriate credit. So here is the attribution. Say in there, and I'm putting it in the description of my videos, so that is good. All right. I do like it. It's very nice music. All right. So, what we've got working here yesterday. Now, I have a theory. Oh no, I'm gonna get sucked into the rabbit hole here. See how that blips down just a little bit as we go. Now, this is cool. See how it doesn't let us push another one in there until this one's flush. And I did add one thing off camera yesterday. Previously, if I had this one and it was almost all the way in, like right here, but it wasn't completely to the rear, it wasn't fully slid back like it was supposed to, if I tried to put another one in, it wouldn't let you put it in, and it could be a little confusing even, because you'd go like, that's all the way in there, why isn't it letting me put another one in? So what I did is I added a grace zone, and the problem was, if I just allowed you to push the cartridge down, the nose of the bullet would actually stick out of the front of the magazine, and it was just clipping through. So what I did instead is, when you add a new cartridge to the magazine, if it detects that that top one is not all the way back, but it's close, it just nudges it back for you. So if you watch that here really quick, I wish it wouldn't close my OBS when I did this, but if you watch this round right here, right when I put this one in, this one is gonna move just ever so slightly this way back into the magazine. So do that super quick. Let my thing catch up. There it goes, and boom. Do you see it slide backwards just a little bit? There. Now, the other thing I want to fix is, and I want to make sure I keep my stream open, because I don't want to miss. I missed a chat yesterday. I know who it was too. If I just look, Captain Furball. There we go. Had stopped by, and I didn't see you for a minute because I didn't have my chat open. So let's not make that mistake again. I'll just keep my chat open this time. Anyway, the problem here is, as I put this round into the magazine, let me give it just a second to catch up. I know it's gonna go black for a second because I switched back and forth. As I put this round in, watch it jitters downwards. See that? Doesn't always happen. There it goes. See that little flicker? It's not a huge deal, but I was thinking about it last night as I was going to sleep, and I realized what I thought the problem was. So let me check my text to myself. Caused by the move cartridge relative Y clamp. Exclude the dragged round. Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing, if you remember from last time, is these rounds in here, we're clamping them so that they can't go up. Because otherwise, if you see, if I do this kind of thing, the rounds would actually, because they're mirroring the motion of this round so that as you press them down, they go down, but they also go up. See that? And what you could do prior to us adding this clamp is you could actually like snake charmer these bullets up out of the magazine by kind of like brushing them over here. You can see the follower twitch a little bit when I do that, which is, it shouldn't do that, but that's okay, whatever. It's fine. So we clamped the motion of these so they can move at most one cartridge width as we're putting these in there, but as a result, we're getting this flicker right there as it hits the bottom, right as it hit that lip right there, we get that flicker. So first of all, let's just test that hypothesis, if that is actually the cause of the flicker. So if we go in here, and we go down to here, this is the clamp statement that we added. It's right here. This is the clamp. So if we remove that clamp for just a second, and then we get in here, and we add a cartridge or two, and then we do this thing where we kind of like brush. Like here, you can see what I'm talking about. This is what the problem that clamp is trying to fix. Well, looks like I've added some other logic that kind of helps, but you can see how those cartridges are starting to come out, and they shouldn't do that. But the other thing I want to see is if we got rid of the flicker, and we did. See that? See how it no longer flickers? So that tells me that the flicker is being caused by that clamp statement, and that makes perfect sense, because as soon as that cartridge hits the front lip of the magazine there and starts moving horizontally instead of vertically, we add it to the magazine array. That's the point at which we add it to the magazine array. And once it's in the magazine array, we start applying that clamp to it. And the clamp calculates where it thinks this round should be, and it's down here. And so it jumps it down there. And then, because we're dragging it, it jumps it back up again. But it just creates that little flicker. So all we need to do here is we just need to exclude and then we can just look at the currently dragged item. Is dragged or held. So here, let's go here. So now let's see if that fixes the jitter but keeps the clamp fix in place. I think it will, but let's just prove it. Right? So we've got some rounds in here. This, see here, it's fixing the brush problem, so that's not happening. But does it fix the jitter? It does. See that? How we did not get the jitter. Just like that. So that's a bug fixed. That's nothing fancy, but it's pretty simple. But it is a problem that we were having, so that's fixed. Okay, now let's record a sound effect real quick for loading and unloading the magazine. I could use this uh, this magazine here, but I think I'm gonna run up to the safe and grab my Browning High Power magazine, because that's going to be a little bit closer to the actual Makarov magazine, because it's metal magazine. These are both metal magazines, really, but I don't know. I'm just going to go grab it anyways, just because it's fun. All right. Sweet. So that's a little bit closer to a real Makarov in that it's an all steel frame and whatever. So that's what we're going to use as our example. Let's just clear us here. We're clear, although we're not going to be doing anything with the actual firearm. We're just going to be messing with this magazine. So let's give it a go. So we're going to switch to Audacity. And I think I'm going to record this in a couple different sounds. I think I want to record the sound of the spring moving around. I want to record the sound of like a round flopping out of here. So let's just give it a go. Record as many other different sound effects as we can think of, and then we'll pull them into Godot and we'll wire them up so they happen at the right time. It sounds like fun. Okay, here we go. This might be kind of loud. I wonder if we... Can you do something like that? I'm sure that was loud as well. Sorry. Alright, there we go. We can see what we're doing now. Alright. So, we've got our magazine over here. And it's full, currently. So, let's hit record, and I'm going to wait for a second to give it the noise profile. And then let's pop some rounds out of here and see what that sounds like. That was a good one. I like that one. Let's take that one. This one right here. So, let's get this back up so I can actually hear what you guys are hearing. You guys are in a coffee cup right now. It's the camera. camera holder. There we go. Alright, let's see what this one sounds like right here. Okay, I like that. Let's turn up the volume a little bit. Let me make sure our volume over here is up to normal. And then let's get rid of the noise. So let's go Effect, Noise Reduction, and then Effect, and Remove. Right, and these ones clipped, see? So that's not quite what I want. I'm okay with that, and we could have a couple, and then we could kind of rotate through them, but again, we'll do that at a different point down the road because we don't want to spend too much time on this. So I like this one, so let's take it. So let's just go and mix down to mono, because we want these to be a mono track. Let's maybe take, I want there to be a little pop. Maybe I like this one better. It's not too poppy. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Okay. That always trips me up. So we want this to be a wave file. And we're in the right gun, actually. Although, really, this should actually go in the magazine folder. This is a little trippy, but the magazine folder gets a sound. Yep. Okay. And we'll call this remove round. And let's hop over here. And here's the magazine, and let's just add some sounds to this. So let's add a audio stream player. And let's load magazine sound. Let's rename this as just remove round. And let's look in the script, and right here, when we give up the cartridge, let's just play the sound. So let's say remove round.play. And without too much fuss, that's the first one. Oh, gotta make my face a little smaller here. Well, this works fine. We'll go right back, so. Still need the loading noises, but now if we take some of these out in just a second, right? Yeah, that's fine. That one sounds cool too. I hate to waste these if I've already recorded them. Now, that's got the sound of it like falling into my hand, but I think it's fine. Let's keep it. Oops. No harm in it. And we can just do a super simple random number Great. Easy. Let's keep all the signals at the bottom. So here, let's put this right here. Then let's move these down here. And then, that's fine. We didn't have a ready function yet, so that just becomes our ready function, which is fine. And then right here where we go, give up cartridge. Now, that's going to give us a we actually want an integer. So maybe this is better what we want, actually. There you go. Hello! Hey, it is Spectre. How are you? How long has it been since I missed your message there? You are in Germany, right? Am I getting the right people right? How's your day been? It's not called a switch in Godot. It always trips me up. It's not called a switch. It's called a match. Match, yep. It feels weird, but I do like that it's based on Python. Python is always nice to work with, so I'm not complaining. Although it is switch in Python, so, but everything else is pretty similar. Alright. Let's add one more just because, again, we recorded it all, so. I liked this one. I like how that one sounds. So we'll keep that one too. While I'm sitting in here, I might rename this one _1. Now that's probably going to make Godot mad at me, but we'll go in and fix it in just a second here. So this one, let's clear it, and then let's load. It is a weird, yeah. Yeah, I don't do a ton of C. But yeah, just about anything else, it's switch, not match. So it just got to make it a little bit hard for us. So let's see, magazine. So what we're doing now is just adding some sound effects here. And then I think I'm painting on one part of the canvas a little bit too much. So I'm gonna, after I get this working, I'm gonna maybe switch to work on like the tutorial or something, just so I'm not neglecting the other parts of the project. And let's make this one unique and open number 2. Duplicate. I do like that it it's smart and it automatically increments the node number. It's usually pretty good, although my cartridges are named 9 by 18, so if I duplicate it, it says cartridge 9 by 19, 9 by 20, which is pretty funny. Um, but I can just add a prefix, right? I can say cartridge 9 by 18 underscore 1 or whatever. Embedded programmer, not that much of a choice when you basically have like 256 kilobits of RAM, kilobytes. That makes sense. I'd buy that. What sort of embedded devices are you coding on? I did really enjoy the C that we did in one of my like programming 101 classes. Just all of the really low level stuff that you got to control, like the pointers and things like that. Just seeing what modern languages abstract away from us was interesting to see. There's some fun puzzles and stuff that came out of that. That I'm sure is pretty just academic and not very practical, but alright, load. Sound 3. And I made that unique, right? Okay, yep. It didn't affect the other ones. Yeah, that's nice. I like the waveform little picture. Alright, let's make sure that's working. Well, I've got my face way too big. Some really old 16-bit processor from Toshiba, and lately some bigger ARM ones. Nice. Do those get put to any interesting uses, or nothing that you can talk about? My brother works for National Instruments, and some of their hardware goes on the SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets, and that's pretty fun because I'm a big SpaceX follower. I don't know if I'd say I'm a SpaceX fan because whatever, nobody's perfect, but they do some cool stuff with reusing their rockets and stuff, so that's fun to watch. And to know that there's some code that my brother wrote somewhere on there or whatever, in a chip or something. So now we should get some different sound effects as we remove these. We don't have any loading sound effects yet, but we have the removing sound effects. Nice. I like that we randomized them, because that makes it feel a little bit more alive and interesting. Controlling textile machines. Nothing fancy. I mean, that's fancier than anything I've ever done, so I'll take that. Nice. Very cool. So that's one thing we added. I don't know if, Spectre, you were here when I was showing this a minute ago, but last night, if these were like almost all the way in, but, oops, but not quite. Now there's like it'll give it to you. There's a gimme window where it'll just push it back in for you. Because otherwise it can be very confusing. You're like trying to put the next one in and you can't even tell that this one's just ever so slightly out of position. You know? And then it's a little frustrating. Like, why won't that one go in? So it just fixes it. Alright, let's record the next sound, which is going to be, we're going to want a loading sound here. So, I've got my I don't have a Makarov magazine to record, but we have something kind of close to it, so that's what we're using as our sound prop. So, coming over here into Audacity, and we're just going to do a little more recording like this, so that guy going. We're gonna hit record and we're gonna let it go for a second to get the noise profile or whatever. So, sorry, that was probably loud. Hit record. There we go, that's the noise. And then we pop a few more out of here. Alright, all those out. And then let's record putting some in. So I think we're going to break this up into a couple different sounds. Let's see if we can get that sound, right, of the spring and the follower. I wonder if I found like a pencil and I can push the follower in with that and record that. Hang on. Alright, let's let's start afresh here. I've got too much wibble wobble in this recording. That's not doing quite what I want. Let's not fiddle around with that. Oops. Okay, that's better. Let's do it again. Let's think about this. This is a little tricky. Right, very fancy. This microphone, the cat has eaten it like several times. So there's like 6 different little conductors inside this, and I've soldered it all back together, and it still works, which is great because these are my favorite headphones. Alright. Let's try this again. It's tricky because I don't want to put my hand on the table because that'll kind of goof up the sound, but it's hard to load it without a little support. That's not what I want. Too much much pressure. I try. Alright, I like those okay. I'm trying a little too hard to like record it in 2 steps, like to have the push down sound be separate from the slide back sound. And I think if I just record loading it, and then I can chop it up from here. So let's see if I can still get 2 distinct pieces out of this. Oh, I'm getting a call, so I will be right back. Sorry. Partner was checking if I had gotten eggs yesterday, and I did, so that's all sorted. Alright, so first of all, let's just get the noise out of here. Effects, noise profile, effects, remove, and then let's see what some of these sound like. So I like that one fine. So what if we take this and we chop it into 2 pieces, because we're gonna so what are those different sounds? Let me just play with this for a second, because it doesn't really matter. We can just fudge it, but so really, this is the sound of it hitting the back of the magazine. That's me sliding it in right there. So let's amplify that a little bit. Like 4. And then let's take this and let's export that as insert A1, or insert press down 1. And then let's take this part and we'll call that insert slide back 1. Cool. And then let's get a couple more of those. Let's amplify it. That's probably about loud enough. Selected audio. Sometimes I do export as MP3 or export as wave on accident, but I need to say selected audio and then choose wave down here. Okay, press down 2. Good. And then export wave. No, no, no. Selected audio. Slide back 2. Alright. Now this is actually when I release it. So I'm just going to kind of smush these together. Now this is actually me clicking the round against the other round, and that's fine. So there'll be a variety of sounds here, and that's fine, because there'd be some variety when you actually do it. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting to do? That's fine. But these should be mono. Oh well. Some of them will be stereo. It's all good. Okay. I'm a little worried that I exported one of these as the full length, so let me check my files super quick, because if we go to game, magazine, how's the rest of your day look? Anything interesting or fun in the plan? Or pretty chill? If I wanted to create such sounds, I can't talk. If I wanted to create such sounds, I would either need to cheat a lot or find some random sound file. Yeah, I mean, there are some things that I'm just going on free sounds and looking up sounds for it. Like, surprisingly hard to record is footsteps, because I would have to go somewhere where there's like no cars. Otherwise, I'm on a busy street, so I'd have to really like drive out and find an empty field out of the city to like. And then there's a lot of wind noise, so you'd have to like have a very calm day with very little wind, or record footsteps inside somehow, but like with some kind of grass inside, so you don't have all the wind sound, or have a good microphone that's got like a nice wind shield. It's tricky. So I used someone else's wind or footstep sound. This person. Open source sound files are great. But I think the point you were making was access to firearms to be able to fiddle with, right? But yeah. This is my Oh, yeah, that's actually that would be super clever. Like like all the old radio shows, right? Where they would like uh they would do all this clever stuff, right?
Has happened. Why, I heard you had two.
Hello?
Ring up the boys, man. Tell them to meet me at Pine Creek Forks. The Flying Bee payroll's been robbed. Pete Belden's been kidnapped. Tell the boys to ride. Hey, George, where'd you put that ammunition? It's in your desk. Which drawer? The middle one.
I declare, I'll never get these dishes done. Looks like a storm coming up, too. Hello, what is it?
It's Fred there, Mrs. Jones. Chef rounded up a posse.
I'll call him, May.
Hello?
Fred! Pine...
But they just have all the props for like the sound effects and exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Hey, Joe, we're saddling.
That's actually a pretty amazing like fake cow udder. That's way more. That's way more elaborate than I would have done. Yeah, yeah.
See you later, Ma.
Be careful, Fred!
Anyway, sorry, that's it's fun to think about. Or even like if you see the Star Wars movies, alright, whatever. Anakin's walking around, but they've just got like a sack of like tools and a leather bag, and they're just like jiggling it, and that's making like the whatever. So I wouldn't have thought about that. That's really smart. A bowl of gravel for a shoe for the walking is really clever. So I was worried that I exported the whole thing instead of one of the little clips. So let me check just like the file size on these. Gosh. Yeah, there we go. File size 43, 42, 2. Nope, that looks fine. There's no huge files in here, so I didn't goof any of them up. That's good. We don't need like a ton of these. I'm bad. I'll get too into the weeds. We should hurry up and do the next thing we need to do, not just get too engrossed in this. Yeah, the old Star Wars behind the scenes totally. Yep, like they'd have a shovel like in a bog and just be like digging up dirt and making slurping noises for aliens or this or that. Yeah, for sure. We could probably amplify this all just a little bit. We've been using the same exact amount of amplify for all of them, so that should hopefully keep them sounding pretty consistent, but I guess we'll find out. Oops, I'm chopping that before that sound wave is done sounding, so let's put this as insert 4, and that's probably way plenty, so and again that's actually the kind of like release. There. Cool. And then I think since these kind of go together, like 1 with 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3, 4 with 4, I might pick and then we'll just generate this every time we get a new cartridge. So right here, maybe right here, we'll say equals, and then we'll say RNG dot and then where did I copy that from? Right here. And we have 4 of them, so whoops. Cool. And then let's have some flags here. So, and these can all go together with the sound right here. Here we go. Var insert. Did I call it press down? Tim Keefe made a random audio stream plugin, which might be helpful if you plan to have several sounds with the same thing. Ah. Oh. That is actually pretty sick. Yeah, 100%. I've only installed one other plugin to Godot, which was a copy transform, which I think I still have. I forget how to use it. But maybe it's under editor. Maybe I have to reinstall it for this version of Godot, but I did add a copy transform function. That was really helpful. I needed that. But that was the only plugin I've ever added. Let's see. Can we install it right in through here? What's this guy called? Random audio stream player. Install. I should just read the fine manual. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. Copy all the files from add-ons to the add-ons folder of your project and enable the plugin in Godot. Cool. So yeah, we just want to download it, don't we? I mean, I could just clone it. Oh, I'm gonna help bring in some groceries. Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching the cat for a second because otherwise he's gonna eat the groceries that are getting brought in. But people just got home for the day, so I'm gonna go just hang out with them for a minute and see how their day was. But thanks a ton for hanging out, and I'm gonna install this because this will actually be useful. So thanks for the suggestion, and I hope your night goes well over there. Cheers.